as I already mentioned that Professor Sahu, Bimal Sahu will share this course content with you. First 3 sections I will cover. I will come back to those topics a little bit later, but before that, let me tell you some other issues. And so I believe majority of you are in your hostel. Is it? Or some of you are still participating in that class from outside campus? Anyone who is participating in this class from outside campus? Outside?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there will be, okay, there are few. Only my concern is there are many more. Anyway, that is not an issue for me. Whether you are participating from campus or from outside campus, that is not an issue. But only thing is that sometime you may face some network problem, and even I was facing network problem. Even yesterday I was facing. Even today, luckily I didn't face, but initially I was facing even network problem. We usually start that class maybe around 15 minutes before, but today probably you got that access maybe around 7 or 8 minutes before. And anyway, as much as possible, because as it is online, sometimes we may face network problem, so we have to bear with so you have to bear with me for this kind of difficulties. And when I face network problem, things become much more severe, because whole student may suffer or whole class may suffer. Okay. But otherwise, in case you face some problem, you can join even after 5 minutes, after 10 minutes, no problem. Okay. But this doesn't mean that no problem. This doesn't mean that you will join the class after maybe 40 minutes or even sometime even 50 minutes just before ending that class. It should not be. Okay. Now, related to distribution of mark and other things, probably you know, Professor Sahu already, he informed that he mentioned it once, and in coming days you will know it in detail. Like there will be 60 marks exam and 40 marks will be for your attendance, participation and assignment. So then 60 marks will be minimum 3 to 5 exam will be there. These are nothing new. These are for last 2-3 semester we are doing it in this way. This is institute approved norms I'm talking about related to these online classes. Okay. And if someone is yet to register, my suggestion is that as early as possible you try to register. Okay. Who is Satish Sahu? I am admitting, but just a minute. Mr. Satish Sahu, are you here?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
You are here?
Yes, sir.
So why you are joining it as a guest?
Oh,
Huh?
I joined through the link which I got right now.
You are having a code, I believe.
Let me join again.
No, it's okay. My only concern is why I'm telling you. Today I allowed, but I usually I will not allow it next time, and start joining through a course class code, and this code has already been sent. You can rejoin, because I do not know if there is any technical problem, attendance is not counted or something like that, then I will be helpless because I cannot. Okay.
Okay.
For your safe side, it is applicable to all. For your safe side, always you are having a class code, you know it, you are doing it for quite at least last 2 semesters, you already did it, or last 3 semesters. You do it anyway. If you are having, so Mr. Sahu, if you like to join, you can rejoin, no problem, because today I am allowing it. Today I am allowing it. I am not sticking to my time, so you can join as a with a class code also. It is up to you. Because towards the end, I will just download my attendance sheet. If you are having any question, any observation, you can ask me. Anyone is having any question, anything? Okay. So before going to our course content and topic and other things, I'm just want to tell you. So you know the situation in campus, those who are in campus, situation is not very encouraging. So my suggestion to you is that you take your maximum personal care, at least for at least unless this infection, because infection is very high in campus now. Okay, so my suggestion is that you should be very careful, because you know institute is having limited facilities, so hopefully things will improve. But this is obviously not a official request, but my personal request that take care about yourself as much as possible, because things are not very good in campus. Now, coming to our course content, what I was telling you, I believe you can see the word file. The first 3 sections: introduction, demand and supply, and production and cost. These 3 sections, these are not arranged properly, but lecture wise also these are divided earlier. These 3 sections I will cover it. Now, while covering it, these 3 sections, this introduction, demand and supply analysis, and production, probably you observe, say even in introduction, you may find certain topic called demand and supply. Then your, like say utility, then you will find certain topic like cost, okay? So such kind of topic, even you are getting it here, like demand and supply, whole section is on demand and supply. We are talking about utility. Utility, you are getting it when we talked about consumer preference and indifference gap analysis. Basically, we are talking about utility only. Or when we talked about production and cost, you are getting lot of discussion related to short run and long run cost. Okay, cost function and cost structure for a farm in the short run. And in the, this is a mistake actually, this is a short run. Okay, short run, and this is a long run. Okay, about cost. So to avoid this repetition, what we are doing it, whenever a particular topic is appearing, then and there itself I am discussing all the basic issues. So do not worry for that. All information I will discuss then and there itself whenever a topic will come. Okay. Second is, even if you are not understanding, in my class, do not hesitate. Do not hesitate to ask question. To go on asking question. I do not have any problem. Only problem is there may be sometime some limitation of time. That is, time is the major issue. Otherwise, you can go on asking me question related to my portion. Okay. This is one. Second is your this one, your topic, this first 3 section, as I mentioned already, that these 3 section I will cover. Okay, so if there is any doubt, any question, do not hesitate. About this reference book, I will I will definitely give you some reference book, or even here also you will get some books I'm showing you towards the end, but this is not complete. Because of that, I was not interested so much to show you, but I can show you. Oh, where it is. Okay, I'm just opening another file. I opened the wrong file. Just give me a minute, or let me open it. I am having it. Can you see the file?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the file. Actually, I opened that yesterday night. I modified it little bit. So nothing is. I just make it different in that way, reorganization you can say. But there are a few references I already added it up. Like a question is that modern microeconomics. Some of these books are available online. So you can download also directly. Intermediate microeconomics by a modern approach by Hall or Varian. Okay, Norton and company, that publisher. Okay, business economics by Andrew Gillespie. Then essentials of business economics by D.N. Dwivedi, managerial economy. But please remember, I am not sticking to a particular book only for discussing all the topic. So sometime for certain topic, say for example, probably I didn't, okay, I mentioned it here. Managerial economics by Dominic Salvatore, suppose. So this book I am having, say for example. Now what I will do it, when I will discuss your this one, like economic region of production, or upper ridgeline, lower ridgeline, and then I will bring some example from this book. Very short, but I will bring some example from this book. So for doing only for one lecture only, I will follow that one. Because why? Because that book, that example was nicely explained there in that particular book. Okay, but this doesn't mean that you are going to purchase this particular book. That example I will show you here. Okay, so do not worry for that. And most of these in my class, most of these issues will be discussed in class, and you will note it down. We will record the class also. Today I am not recording it because we are yet to start. We will record it. You will again revisit those files. You can listen those files, or you can see those files, because up to 20 days you can download anytime from MS Team, from your account, those lectures up to 20 days, if I remember well. 20 or 21 days, 20 days I believe. And another is most of this question in my portion will be coming from that portion which is already discussed in class. It is not like that something is not discussed in class and I am setting question. It is not like that. So be regular in class. It will be much more easier. scoring mark as well as that subject will be much more easier. I'm telling you. Okay. So anytime if you are having any doubt, any question, just unmute the system and speak out. Do not raise hand. Why I'm telling you? Because I am not all the time in this screen. This MS Teams screen, once I enter, then immediately I will move on to mostly Word file. Why? Because I am using a pen writer, you can say, or tablet, you can say, and so I will be mostly in other screen. Okay. Because of that, I will not be able to know who is raising hand, or towards the end when I will come back, then only I will be able to see. Because of that, my suggestion is that do not raise hand. You better unmute it, unmute your system, speak out, and once your question is over or your observation is over, then you can again leave the system. Yeah. Someone already unmuted. Okay. So this is the case. Now, any question, if anyone is having any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to start now some of the basic issues of economics. Okay, but please remember, I'm not going to elaborate what is economics. Okay, or how it is developed, what is that history, that you have to read yourself. I will just start with certain issues which ultimately will lead to discussion of consumers' preference. Not directly consumers' preference in first lecture, but indirectly I will discuss about some issues which talk about or which talks about the importance of economics, or as a subject of behavioral economics, why it is important. Such kind of issues I am going to discuss. But before starting, if anyone is having any observation, anything, you can ask me now, because I am going to start the recording. And let me start a Word file also. Hope I will not face any problem in writing, I believe. Let's see. Yeah. Can you see this one? This whiteboard, and where I am writing, start writing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me go to a black color so that it will be more distinct. Now, in first lecture, there may not be, let me start the recording. In first lecture, there may not be so much. And sometimes if I forget to record it, just remind me at the beginning that you please record the class, because sometimes it happened. And so I started recording now. Now, the issue is, why studying economics is important? Why we need to study economics? First of all, economics is coming under is a subject which is discussed under behavioral science. Okay, because when we talk about economics at individual level or at aggregated level, because we can discuss this subject at individual level, means at your level, or at aggregated level. At aggregated level means at country level, or at or world economics, or something like that, at district level, state level, so at macro level. So accordingly, two concepts are coming into a picture. One is microeconomics, another is macroeconomics. Micro means at individual level, disaggregated level, we are discussing different issues. Like you are an individual. You have your own demand, you have your own supply. Now you might be thinking that what do I mean by demand, what do I mean by supply? So certain topic I will avoid now to explain, and later on definitely I will discuss it. But at individual level, you are having certain requirements. Okay, so when we are discussing all such issues at your individual level, economic issues or economic decision making, then these topics are coming under microeconomics. MICRO, micro. Okay. Let me write. These are coming under your under microeconomics. Okay, but when sometime we discuss this topic at, say, at country level or state level, at aggregated level, like say country's employment pattern, then your employment scenario in a country, or savings, investment, okay, we are not while discussing such kind of topic, or state domestic product, or gross domestic product, net national product. Professor Nayak will discuss all these topics. I believe Professor Nayak or Professor Sahu, someone will discuss this topic later part. Then we are mostly not discussing such topic at individual level. We are discussing such topic at aggregated level, at state level, say gross domestic product, at national level we are discussing. So such kind of topics are we discuss it under your macroeconomics. Okay, macro, MACRO, macro and micro. Anyway, you will know it a little bit, and interestingly, most of my topics what we are discussing, that is coming under microeconomics. So these topics, first of all, you should be clear that for whole syllabus, this syllabus is an aggregation of so many topics. Some of them are coming under microeconomics, some of them are coming under macroeconomics, some of them are coming under welfare economics, some of them are coming under environmental economics and environmental and resource economics. So lot of sub branches of economics topics are aggregated here, and our basic intention here is to give you some basic knowledge about economics, okay, so that you will have some basic idea. Later on, when you will be very, very interested about these subjects, so you will go on in that way. That will not be an issue, okay? You will read yourself once you know the basic, because unless you know the basic, we cannot jump into those advanced topics, okay? Because now many of these you are very much interested nowadays about econometrics, mathematical economics, game theories, okay, operation, and say linear and non-linear programming. There are many topics, and which are much more interesting. But this doesn't mean that other things are not interesting. But you cannot jump to those topics unless you know the basics of the subjects. And this is our intention, to give you some idea about this particular subject, okay? And as I said, most of my topics are coming under microeconomics, but this doesn't mean that you will look only into microeconomics. Sometimes some of my topics may be available in some business economics book. Sometimes it may be available in microeconomics. Because of that, all our variants, that book, what I was referring the other moment, was intermediate microeconomics. Name is like that. Some book I referred as managerial economics, some books I referred as business economics. Only difference is that when we talked about business economics, you will get more and more discussion about cases, or a more application oriented. But basics are same. Okay. Now the basic issue, what I started with, is that why we need to study this one, even at individual level. Why we need to? Why we need to know the economics? Where is that importance? that we need to study that subject economics? First of all, you think about your individual level, and please remember, initial maybe 4 or 5 lecture of my lecture will be mostly related to your behavior. Initial 4 or 5 of my lecture will be related to your behavior. Okay, how you behave. So most of my examples will be related to your activity in your day-to-day life. To make it more simple, I will try to do it in that way. Now, what I'm telling you that why we need to study your behavior, economic behavior, because we are talking about economics. There are 3 important aspects. I usually say it. I usually start this subject with these particular issues. 3 important aspects. One is, think about your resources. Think about your resources. Now, resource is a very broad, say, subject, you can say, or topic. Because resource may have different forms, resource may have different interpretation also. Sometimes it may be even tangible, it may be even intangible also. Resources may be, means which may not have physical presence, like maybe your intellectual property, human resources, and different aspects may come in. But we will not go to that complicacy. Right now, if you think about simply money, it's not a good example of resource, but very narrow example of resource is suppose money. Think about money. How much money is in your pocket? If I ask you this question, or some of your friends ask you this question, then what will be your answer? You will answer it with some value. The moment you spell out any value, limitedness is coming into picture. Say, if someone, hypothetically, if someone said that, no, I am having right now 1 million rupee, suppose, hypothetically. The moment you spell out 1 million, limitedness is coming into picture. Or if someone said that, no, I am having right now 500 rupee. The moment you spell out 500 rupee, then limitedness is coming into picture. So your resources are limited. In reality, whatever may be its form, so your resources are limited. It is not that resources are not unlimited. Clear? In case you do not understand something, because I am trying my best to explain with very, very simple examples. Just like a layman, I will try to do. I will not go to very technical issues initially. And later part also I will not, because it is an introductory subject, means economics. So your resources are limited. Second issue is, think about your wants, human wants in general. Sometimes I say that your wants means in general, I am meaning is everyone. Okay, so what I'm telling you, I'm talking about, say, your I'm talking about your resources. First one is resources. This is limited. Now, what about your wants? Wants? Human wants are unlimited. You ask yourself, is your wants limited? Simple answer is no. Is it clear or not? Wants. How much you want? If something is freely available, you will, because there is a price tag, because of that many a times you are restricting yourself because price or money is limited. But otherwise, if I say that everything is free, then you may go even to possess everything for yourself. Even someone may go and start occupying, even if possible, even your moon or maybe even other stars also. if it is accessible. So human wants are unlimited. There is no restriction. And as resources are limited and wants are unlimited, because of that, third consequence is automatically happening. What is happening? As a result, resources are limited, wants are unlimited. As a result, what is happening? With your limited resource or with your limited resources, you want to maximize your wellness, satisfaction, utility, and so and so. These are all terms I am using it as a synonym, you can say. As resources are limited, wants are unlimited. With your limited resource, you want to maximize your wellness or satisfaction. Like, say I'm asking you a question, someone at least, see, in class, time to time I ask question, but asking a question doesn't mean that you have to tell about your reality. I am asking you some hypothetical, I am trying to frame some hypothetical example so that you can understand. Okay. And saying something doesn't mean that exactly you are going to do it. But in general, as a human being, what you will do it. At least that I expect, not some irrational answer. Okay. Now, probably you know, those who are in campus, probably you know that your tech market, you visited already tech market or not? Some of you, have you visited tech market?
Yes, sir.
So how is it? Means it might be very small. From you might be from big cities or something, but still inside campus it is manageable, I believe. And when COVID situation will improve, you will be able to explore even other places also, other places outside campus, but not now. Definitely not now. But anyway, how is the tech market? Is it okay? You visited already? Now, so from today, tech market has been declared as micro containment zone. So be careful. So might be there is a restriction in your movement and better not to go to tech market because it is spreading like anything. Anyway, that is another issue. You might be saw that mail also even in IIT side. Now, hypothetically, I'm telling you, but I expect quick reply so that I can move quickly because this is nothing very technical. So you want to take market. So if I ask you that why you want to take market, quickly, just reply quickly. Why you want to take market? To purchase, suppose something. Yeah, to purchase something or to have something, suppose hypothetically. Or then when you want to take market, what you purchase? Hypothetically, you tell me some item or something like that. Fruits. Someone said that. Someone said that. There's nothing special about fruits. Do not argue with me that why fruits only. So I can tell you that okay, some foods also, some pizza or XYZ, whatever. So you want to take market to purchase something. Okay. Now what I was discussing it here. Resources are limited. So when you want to take market, in your pocket you have some money, say 500 rupees. When you reach tech market, you purchase some fruits. So you are not in a position to purchase unlimited quantity of fruits because fruits are not free and your resources are limited. Your requirement might be much higher. Your requirement might be much higher. It may be fruits, it may be any other item, but as it is not freely available, you are restricting yourself. You are controlling your wants. Okay. So in this case, what is happening? You might be spending say 100 rupee for purchasing 1 kg of apple. Suppose apple you are purchasing 1 kg. Now with 100 rupee, hypothetical, all are hypothetical value. Do not ask me that why exactly it is 100 rupee. It is not 100 rupee right now. So that you can put yourself. whatever value in your city, whatever is there. Or it may be apple, or it may be any XYZ item. Now you purchase 1 kg because you have limited amount, suppose 500 rupee. This 500 you want to utilize in such a way that will give you maximum satisfaction, maximum wellness. That is your ultimate motive. Because in your consumption basket, apple is not the only item. There may be n number of items, which gradually I will come to that issue about your consumption basket, about your consumer's preference. Indirectly, I am moving towards that direction. But going to that direction, I'm just creating some environment, you can say, creating some discussion about basics. So, what you are doing it, always you are directly or indirectly you are doing that one, that your limited resources you are utilizing in such a way, best efficient way, you feel it is best. Because I cannot even compare your consumption pattern with another person's or your another friend's consumption pattern. Because under a given situation, I assume that you are utilizing your resource in a best way, because your resources are limited, wants are unlimited, and with your limited resource, always you want to maximize your wellness or satisfaction. Okay. Now, I cannot compare your consumption pattern with another person's consumption pattern, because your consumption basket is different. Another individual's consumption basket is different. For example, I'm telling you another example why it is difficult. Someone might be going for a long drive, hiring a car or maybe his own car, spending money on fuel as well as time, but he or she is going for a long drive. Then also he and she is enjoying as well as maximizing his wellness, because at that particular moment he and she is desperately looking for going for a long drive, and he and she is going for this one. So his behavior is perfectly all right in that case. You cannot say that it is an irrational behavior. No, under that particular situation, he or she might be that is the best. He or she might be desperately looking for it and maximizing his or her wellness by fulfilling that wish. So you cannot really compare one individual with another individual in terms of his personal liking or disliking and such issues. But what is common here is every individual will try to utilize his or her resources in such a way that he and she maximizes his wants or satisfy his or her wants and maximizes his or her wellness. This is the common thing. Every individual is ultimately trying all the time. So basically you are all the time you are trying to maximize your utility. Here time to time I am using the word utility or wellness or satisfaction. So basically utility is what? Utility, as I use the term, I am telling you, utility is one satisfying power of a particular commodity. Utility is one satisfying power of a particular commodity. Say for example, right now you might be using a pen. So right now this pen is having one satisfying power. Right now. But after maybe 1 hour, after some time, this pen you may not require it. It may not have any one satisfying power for you. Or if you are in a football field, you are desperately looking for a football. So that football will have one satisfying power at that particular moment. But this doesn't mean that all the time it will have same one satisfying power. With time, with place, it may vary. So utility is basically one satisfying power. So that ultimately also contributing to your satisfaction or wellness. So all individual all the time try to maximize utility by consuming or possessing. Not necessarily that all the time you have to consume something. Okay. Right now, you are using a pen. By possessing a pen, you generate might be some utility. When you are in a football field, by possessing a football or by having a football, you can generate utility. But this doesn't mean that you will consume a football. You cannot. So for your commodity, sometimes you may possess, you may not possess it, but you will generate utility. Say, for example, I purchase a four-wheeler. By keeping that four-wheeler in front of my house, I may generate some utility, satisfaction, wellness. So you have to think in that way. An initial 4-5 lecture will be something related to this. But gradually, when I will move on to demand and supply, more and more quantitative discussion, simple, but using a quantitative, simple, maybe simple calculation. Things will be little bit different, but you cannot avoid this concept of your wants, resources, or even utility. I'm telling you its consequence, because whole life you cannot ignore it. Say, for example, I'm telling you some link as topic arise. I'm telling you some issues here. Tomorrow you are a technocrat, suppose, or you are an engineer. You are going to be an engineer. You are going to develop something. Tomorrow, ultimately, it is not that always you will remain as an engineer. When you become senior, you will gradually move on to administration of your factory, own business. So different economics concept will come into picture. So this is a good opportunity to learn many things. And when we are discussing, many of these issues may come or appear in our discussion. Everything you will not find it only in demand and supply or this one. And practical economics, practical side is much more interesting. Be careful about it. And because of this attractiveness only, I started studying economics. I was very bad in economics initially. Anyway, that is different issue. But what I mean to say here, say you developed a machine, suppose. Ultimately, why you develop a machine? For people only or for some industry? Means someone will be there to purchase. Means ultimately you have to go to market. Whether you go or your agent will go, ultimately you have to go to market with that machine to sell. Market means different context I'm telling you. Okay. Whether it is online market or whatever it is. Ultimately, you have consumer will come into picture. Now, why consumer will purchase your machine? Behind the scene again, you will find utility here. Why? Because before purchasing a machine, consumer will compare two situations. One is before purchasing his utility, another is after purchasing his utility or wellness or satisfaction. If after purchasing that machine, because consumer is having again limited money, limited resources, and he is having requirement of resources in n different activities. He needs money or he needs money in n different activities. So he is having limited resources. Then also he will make a comparison that before purchasing, my utility or one satisfying power or wellness is this much, and after purchasing, my wellness is this much. If after purchasing my utility is much higher than before purchasing, obviously I will go for purchasing it. Along with other issues will there, I'm making it more simple. But all these issues are discussed under random utility theory. So I'm just giving you an example that you cannot ignore it. Different concepts of economics will ultimately come into picture. You may not like that one, this maybe this kind of discussion or behavioral aspects. And most of these economic issues are related to human behavior. Because of that, we discuss it under your behavioral economics, behavioral science. Economics is a subject under behavioral science, discussed under behavioral science. And I'm giving you plenty of examples. Like if I ask you that, say, someone said that he went to take market and purchase fruits, suppose, or XYZ, whatever it is. Now, if I ask you the question that why you purchase the fruits, why you purchase the fruits? Why not a pencil, or why not a ice cream, or why not a books or something like that? Not a book. What will be your answer? So simple answer is,
The need at
yeah.
the moment.
Pardon, please.
The need at the moment was to buy
Exactly. So at that particular moment, you feel that this is, I desperately looking for a kg of apple, suppose, or half a kg of apple. So at this moment, I desperately looking for apple. Because of that, I purchase apple. Indirectly, which I will discuss it maybe next class, indirectly, you are preparing a preference list. Indirectly, related to your, based on your requirement, you are having a preference list. That if I tomorrow, because in your consumption basket or in your requirement or in your preference list, there may be n different items. There may be n different items. Okay. Now, everything you may not be in a position to purchase right now. But whenever you will get an opportunity, you will purchase definitely. So tomorrow you are having, say, right now you are having 500 rupees. You are purchasing certain items from your preference list. Obviously, first item first, then second, third, fourth. In that way, you are moving on. But tomorrow you are having 1 million rupee. So might be in your preference list, you will be able to go down and cover maybe much more item. But items are there. And this preference list may vary which time, which place. It is dynamic, but while preparing the preference list, and make sure that you are preparing your preference list, others are not influencing it. Because of that, one of the basic assumption in most of this economic discussion is that the individual must be a rational human being. Your behavior must be rational. Rationality here, I mean, say you went to market with your own preference list, you prepared, but instead of looking for first item, you started looking for 10th item first. Then whole your preference list is not properly prepared. Then I would say that your behavior is irrational. You are behaving in an irrational way. Okay. So anyway, let me download your attendance list, and if you have any question, you can ask me. If you have any question, you can ask me. Anyone is having any question? I will stop the recording now. Anyway, again and again, I am telling you that whenever you are having any question, do not hesitate to ask me. And even today's discussion, little bit, if someone is having any question, even next class also you will be able to ask it. And not only, anytime, any class, you can ask me any question. But please remember that question should be related to my portion only. Because I will not be able to answer others. Other teacher is teaching some other topic, and you are asking me some question. Because I might not be teaching it in that way or in a different way, maybe. Because person to person, there may be some variation, maybe. But that is not an issue. But about my portion, definitely I will be able to answer anytime. Any question? Otherwise, I am ending the class here. But again, before ending, again, I'm telling you that stay safe and be careful, because in those who are particularly in campus, even outside campus also, it is spreading like anything, COVID. So my suggestion